Okay, we're recording this video Sunday, 7th of June 2015. Hope you're having a great weekend. So, that was a pretty good week's trading. I hope you enjoyed it. I did. We had decent volume every day. We had decent range every day. Markets seemed to be moving nice and smooth and fast, particularly on Thursday and Friday. Some really kind of fast kind of trading first thing, the first 20 minutes or so of trade. And we had some really nice intraday moves. So, so many months of last year, the E-mini just seemed to falter all the time. We just never kind of got going during the day. But this week's activity had a different feel about it. Kind of really enjoyed it, so I hope you did too. I want to talk about Thursday and Friday's trade and kind of contrast them. That's on a 4500 tip bar chart. I will at some point do a video, probably go out on Sunday evening, talking about where we are in terms of the big picture, because we're at absolutely critical levels and next week is going to be fun. But in this video I really want to talk about Thursday's and Friday's trade, and there's a message out of this, and the message is this: the pro bars, professional bars on the 4500 tip bar chart are really significant. Pay attention when they kind of pop up, because they will help you nail little intraday trending moves. And every day is different, but every day is the same. And Thursday and Friday's trade, so on this 4500 tip bar chart, this is the open on Thursday, this is the close on Thursday and the overnight activity, and this is the open of Friday, and this is Friday's activity. Thursday and Friday, we both had big macro news announcements pre-open that caused quite a lot of volatility, and then the market sold off as soon as the open kind of happened. We had a really fast sell-off, not particularly big, but it was decent enough on the downside, and they were super fast moves. This move into this move, really fast. And then we had a cluster of blue professional bars pick up that low. Watch for blue professional bars. They are really important on the 4500 tip bar chart. The higher the time frame, the more significant the signals are. So blue professional bars on the 500 tip bar chart, yeah, they show where the professionals are starting to step in, but it's not until you see them cropping up on the 1500 and then the 4500, that's a real signal that the professionals are getting in. It's a U-turn here on the Friday's move, and it's kind of buying the low here on Thursday's move. And then this is where the professionals got out of that kind of trending move. Blue professional bar at the high with exhaustion buy, blue professional bar at the high there. The difference between the two here is that we kind of exhausted with volume, and then we had a really strong trending move into exhaustion volume by the end of the day. This move on the Friday, we were kind of bottoming a little bit. It wasn't an exhaustion buy up here. We had exhaustion sell that was almost getting this move going, but we didn't travel very far. We just kind of sell down for the rest of the day, didn't break to new lows. But the commonality between these 2 days is this cluster and then getting in, getting out, cluster here, getting in, getting out. So this first 15 or 20 minutes was super fast on both days. I found it really difficult. I was getting short on both days, but found it really difficult to kind of pull any money out. On Thursday I had 3 trades, all short. By the end of 3 trades I was down a quarter of a point just because it was too volatile really there, and then had a really nice kind of trade going long into that reaction move. Friday, kind of similar thing, just short 1 trade on the way down. It was a little bit smoother, but only pulled out at 1 1/4 points there because it kind of backed up really quickly. But the good trades were happening in this reaction move from here to here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of compare and contrast Thursday and Friday's activity by going down to the 500 tip bar chart and show you how they were kind of different but similar in many ways. So 500 tip bar chart, again, you can use to kind of get into moves. And this is Thursday's activity. So this is the open on Thursday, and we had this really fast kind of trending move down. This was what was really tricky. The reaction back move here into this downtrend, continuation of this downtrend, was really hard. We broke to a little bit of a new high for the day session, and that kind of freaked me out. I kind of got out of position there and then kind of went short again. But then you can see what's gone on here. Exhaustion sell on the end of trend signal. I say always wait for the second cyclical turn after an end of trend with an exhaustion pattern here happened with a flush, which is really nice. So we now know, although we've broken to new lows at this point here, we've kind of flushed out a lot of sellers. We put in our pullback to end of trend. We freaked people out by breaking, a couple of points to new lows, and this is the trigger. This is a great little signal to kind of go long at this point, because this is blue professional bars buying that dip. As soon as that little sequence is broken to the upside, we know that the uptrend is in place. We come back and test it at this point. We come back to the top of that little blue professional sequence bar, and that makes it, and that's kind of really good. The next little sequence that's really important is we start to break to new highs for the day here, and we're being led by the amateurs. So we know that's a little bit unstable. Still kind of convinced that the bottom is in at this point, that we're going to have a little bit of a rally, but just be careful when we see amateurs kind of leading the way here. Remember, on TradeStation, on tip bar charts, all of these Rambo patterns have printed vertically in the same line. That's because on printing text in TradeStation, text can only be printed to the nearest minute, not to the nearest second. So those three Rambo patterns actually should be over these three bars at this point here. But it's because they're happening so quickly at that point that they print kind of vertically. So just a little point on TradeStation. So we're going to have a little bit of a reaction back. It's quite deep. We come all the way back down to kind of the breakout level back down here. And here's the amateurs going the other way, all of a sudden being taken out on their trailing stops, starting to lose their kind of confidence in a change of trend here, and they get taken out. But there's that cluster of blue professional bars, steps in, and that's a confirmation that this breakout's good. That holds. We break into an uptrend at this point, bang. Finally finish off with a pullback to end of trend. Exhaustion buy that mirrors the exhaustion sell that we had down here, and this kind of changes into the downtrend at that point. But remember, on the 4500 tip bar chart, we know those highs and lows are really important, because we have blue professional bars here and blue professional bars here on the 4500. So really important turning points. Just watch out when you see those things kind of happening. And I say, when support and resistance are matched on a lower time frame with end of trend moves, so we got an end of trend sequence here, pullback end of trend sequence here, they're potential kind of turning points, so kind of watch out for those. And this kind of broke into that really nice kind of downtrend on the way down. So I got in I got in long into this trade, maybe a little bit too early, because I had to sit through this kind of retrace here. But as soon as that cluster of blue professional bars kind of come in, it's going to work out, and that was a really nice trade to the upside. So Friday, it was different in as much as we had blue professional bars kind of coming in the lows on the 4500 tip bar chart, but the sequence looked a little bit different. This downtrend move was really strong. You can see here with exhaustion sell, pullback to end of trend. It was so strong we kept on going through this end of trend, but then more blue professional bars kind of come into that first bullish divergence that comes in, and then a nice flush pattern here. We didn't have blue professional bars picking it up at the lows at this point here, and we traveled past this little sequence of blue professional bars that I thought was kind of buying the breakout at that point, but then that's the sequence that's really important here. That's a little cluster of blue professional bars gathering underneath resistance. At that point we break to the upside, we come back in and test, resistance becomes support, we bounce off there, and then bang into this uptrend. We've got kind of Rambo patterns along the way, a little bit of professional profit taking up at this point here, exhaustion buy, pullback end of trend. But then the amateurs getting wrong-footed here at this point here with Rambo patterns kind of coming in. It's not over at this point. Strong sell move because we get an exhaustion sell at that point, but we bounce back and make new highs into another exhaustion buy, first bearish divergence and flush pattern here, and then finally pullback end of trend, another little sequence that comes in here. And when we look at that on the 4500 tip bar chart, you can see the blue professional bars on 4500 didn't come in at this little left shoulder. It came in right at the highs there. So it wasn't at this first point here, that was just initial profit taking. They were really significant at this second turning point here with a pullback end of trend flush pattern, and then we kind of break into a downtrend at that point here. So both of those days were different in as much as the patterns were kind of different, but the story's the same. Watch for blue professional bars on the 4500 tip bar chart. look for trending moves on the lower time frames, the 500 tip bar chart. They kind of give you signals for getting in and getting out, and these kind of retraces were really nice. So this retrace traveled quite hard at this point here. We know the amateurs getting wrong-footed, but the professionals step in and pick it up into that nice move here. And then at this point here, you maybe wouldn't have been able to get in here on this flush pattern, but as soon as those blue professional bars come in as a gathering at that resistance point here and we break into an uptrend, we know it's kind of good. So there we go, a little bit of commentary contrasting Thursday and Friday's trade. So I might tag on, well, Thursday's was beauty for me, which was a really nice trade, so I'll probably tag on that one. But Friday was kind of equally good, so hope you traded it well. And yeah, I'll put up another video just talking about that 45-minute chart for Sunday's viewing. Hope your trading is going well. Just reverse gone long 350, long 350. Just checking stops and targets. And boy, we're moving fast today. Alright, let's hold on to that. So, got shaken out of my first short trade on this move back, which is a real shame. And then pulled out some of this, but I was just moving too fast to jump on board. Now we've bottomed, and actually I'm going to move the target out. Yeah. So target's moved out 850. What is this number up here? 875. Okay, that's alright. Happy with that. Some point the cyclical energy's got to come in on 1500. We've got to form that and kind of come back down. Potentially we're doing it here with amateur up bars and Rambo patterns kind of going on. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of resistance there. We haven't put in bullish divergence yet. And to be honest, we need to see just another kind of test down. That was just a straight double bottom off 2100. I think this low was, yeah, 2100 exactly. So there it is. Let's see what we do. The pullback support's just gone off 500. Reason for not kind of taking profits yet is no blue professional bars at the highs. So we're just getting a little bit of weakness after a Rambo pattern. So come on, let's break here. Let's go run some stops. No. I know we've got to work out this cyclical energy, but it'd be nice if blue professional bar kind of stepped in. We just, that would show us the professionals are buying it to continue up, but nothing yet. Come on. Okay, so I'm holding out, still expecting this to go up, but now amateur down bars, Rambo patterns into this blue professional bars have stepped in, between 3 and 4, and a third one. So come on, we just have a little bit of overshoot of this support, gets caught by support in the next highest time frame, and it's kind of the zone where they bought the breakout. So come on, let's break to 5. Okay, finally, we made it back up. So a whole cluster of blue professional bars after Rambo patterns. Now we'll get cyclical support print on 1500. We should crack through 7s. My target's sitting at 8.5. Suppose that's okay. What's this number? 9. Okay, exhaustion buy. Hopefully getting this thing going. Okay, just moved my target out to 1050. It's a little bit cheeky, but let's see. Reason for picking 1050, this resistance is at 9. Stop run above there could get us that much travel. We've got no blue professional bars here. It is 7,000 reading, which is pretty decent, but no blue professional bars taking profits. We've got to break through resistance and go pull back under trend on 500. So here we go. So around 9, it's going to have some interest. What exactly was this number? Yeah, 875. Alright, one blue professional bar coming, 7,000 reading. Cyclical resistance, potentially resistance. But come on, here we go. Alright, we're taking a long time, just having a good think about it. There we go, stops to be run. Excellent. And 10.5, give me 10.5. No blue professional bars quite yet. We've got to go pull back enter trend on 500. Come on. Bingo! Taken out a 10.5. Excellent for a 7. Awesome. So, raggedy start. Half point loss, 1.5 point gain, 1.5 point loss, and then a 7. Excellent. And all set up from this exhaustion pattern here, a whole bunch of blue professional bars. And there, bang. And so, where are we going? Well, we're going to go pull back enter trend on 500, so it's decent reading. Yet again, 2100, just absolute key number. Interesting. All week we've been playing with that. Yeah, there's more to be had in it, but that's fine. I'm super happy. So 9:02 a.m. Done.